super excited about this session. Thank you again for the ongoing support, and excited for this HITEC Live.
And Omar, to add a stat to that, in 2019, I had 150,000 miles of travel. Oh. In 2020, I had 529 miles. In 2021, I had 0.
Wow.
Wow.
Just to give a perspective of the impact of change. From
yeah.
All right. Well,
Leah, you are in mute, right?
I am on mute.
Oh, you was not, because I saw that you were trying to speak and we couldn't hear you.
No. Okay. Well, I think that if it's okay, we will go ahead and get started, just because I want to give Laercio his time. So welcome everyone to HITEC Live and bienvenidos. If you're new to HITEC Live, welcome as well. I am Cristina Aguilera, Program Director at HITEC. HITEC Live is a bi-monthly series where we bring the Hispanic technology community together to connect, share, and learn something new. If you've been to our previous sessions, typically we hold an informal networking session after the talk. However, unfortunately, we will not be able to hold our networking session today. We are incredibly excited and looking forward to today's HITEC Live session. We are proud to welcome one of HITEC's longstanding partners, Cisco, to speak to us today. Thank you, Cisco team, for hosting us on the WebEx platform. Today, our speaker, Laercio Albuquerque, Vice President for Cisco Latin America and also a HITEC 50 awardee, will share with us the two sides of technology, the good and the not so good, and he will provide some thoughts and insights on the dynamics of technology and how it affects us as human beings. Laercio Albuquerque is the Vice President of Cisco Latin America, responsible for leading the company's strategy to foster innovation and digitization across the region, supported by local team and Cisco partner ecosystem, is focused on delivering positive outcomes for customers, government, and society, helping them to solve problems, improve their productivity and businesses, and empowering a more inclusive world through the use of technology. Laercio has been working in the technology sector for over 35 years and has held many important leadership positions in the technology industry in Brazil and Latin America. He started his career as an office boy at BCN when he was 14 years old, followed by Duratex and Pirelli. He started his career as an he moved then to the software development world, working for CA Technologies, where he spent 20 years. Laercio has been with Cisco for 5 years, and prior to taking the leadership for the Latin American organization, he was Cisco Brazil's country manager. Laercio, it is such an honor and a pleasure to have you join us today, and bienvenido.
Thank you very much, Christine. What a nice introduction to me. I was almost crying here. This is so so beautiful. So thank you very much. So hello everyone. Buenos dias, buenas tardes. So hello everyone. Glad to be here. Actually, thanks for the honor of this invitation. For me, it's a pleasure to share always. I hope that we can share something that might be interesting for some of you. And this will be the first time that I do this kind of presentations in English. So if I miss some word, I apologize for that in advance. And actually, I do want to touch the different side of the technology. So if for me, I touch in the end of the presentation, just one of you or one of the ones that we might be listen or watch this presentation later would be already worth it. So thank you very much for this. Okay, so can I share, Leah and Christine, and start? Let me see if that will work well. Sure. So can you see? Everyone can see? It's okay. We're there? Can you see it? Okay. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm not going to talk about myself here because Christine has already done such an amazing introduction. And for me, I'm here right now in the office in São Paulo in Brazil. I live in a small apartment, so to make this kind of presentation, I prefer to come here to the office. And while I am about to move to Miami, eventually when I get a visa to go there, to be there. And so I'm sure that I'm going to be in contact with many of you that live in the region there. I just would like to start with this. I know who is this guy who comes here to talk about technology, and just put this slide with this old house here for everyone. But I love this picture a lot because this is the house where I was born. This is not a picture similar to the house where I was born. No, I was born exactly in the same woods that you can see right now. The house was relocated because I wouldn't like to destroy the house, so it's still there. So I was not born. I was born in a city in São Paulo, in the south of Mato Grosso do Sul, a state in Brazil. I was not born. There was no hospital in the city at that time, 1970. So I was born with some woman helping me to come to the world, And my mom and my dad, they never went to school. So they just went to school to learn how to read and write. So why to say all of that? First, to say that I'm extremely proud of my mom and dad. They are my heroes. They taught me that the kind of things that you need to learn for your life doesn't necessarily come from any PhD or university, or this comes from the school of life. So they are my heroes. If I'm here today is because the structure that they gave me, it was enough, independent of anything that I would be studying in the future. So this is the beginning of everything for me. And yes, as Christine mentioned, I started working early in my life. Actually, I just put here, I started working before that. So I don't know how to say that in English, but I was someone with 10 years old. I was walking on the streets, grabbing old things to sell. So I don't know how to say that in English, with 10 years old. When I was 12, I was this bellman in the tennis courts in a club. So I worked from the 12 to the 14 years old, as this bellman throwing the balls to the tennis players, or as my brother used to say, I was companion of great tennis players. So that was my the start of my career. After that, I was, as Christine mentioned, the second stage, what we call the office boy. So I was bringing documents to everywhere, 14 years old. It was when I officially started working in my life. So before that, it was just informal. With 14 years old, I am 51 today, by the way. So, and after that, I wanted to work in technology. That was my, of course, the technology is a brand new and fancy word. At that time, we just say computers. I would like to work with computers. So my dad helped me a little bit on how to make a training and to learn something. I moved them to a manufacturing company where I started working with technology. So that's why I am in technology for a little bit more than 35 years. And I remember at this time, and just to give an example, I don't want to take much time on that, but I remember that I was this office boy, and I had the opportunity to go to a company to work with technology. But in this company, it wouldn't be formal. It would be informal. So I would lose a lot of my benefits just to learn about technology. And I remember that I went to my dad and I started asking so many things to him. Dad, I'm studying for that. I do want to do that. But if I go there as an intern, maybe as an intern, I will not have a formal position later. What should I do? So, and my dad looked at me to my eyes and say, son, I have absolutely no idea what you are asking me, no idea. But I just see that your eyes are brightening. So go ahead, do whatever you want to do, and I promise you that you never, food and what to wear, it will never miss to you. So go ahead. And he died 4 years ago without even know the importance of the advice that he gave me when I was 16 years old. And after that, it was my start of my career. I was engineer for software engineer. I went to sales, inside sales, account manager, sales director. And the company that I worked before coming to Cisco was I became as the president or country leader of the company in Brazil. Then I was promoted as the first Brazilian one as the president of the company for Latin America. And it was when Cisco invited me 5 years ago. And here I am with you. I stayed 5 years as the country leader for Cisco in Brazil. And right now, a few months ago, I was promoted to, and actually the honor of promotion to be the Latin America vice president. And here I am right now talking to you. This is a little bit of and one of the things that I like to say here is that the importance of doing everything one step at a time. Generally, we want to get there too fast, and we ended up failing in our way. So when you do one step at a time and being stronger and stronger in each step of your life, it's much better. So I like, before taking the final message of what we want to talk about, the technology that saves is the same that blinds you. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening in the technology today with a little bit, let's make a little trip in the IoT world. Today, we had in the past the industrial revolution that changed everything and jobs and things. And then today is the tech revolution. Oh, is that different? There was absolutely no difference at all. The difference that today in this digital revolution, we are the ones who are making it happen. So we were not there in the industrial revolution, but here we are right now as the ambassadors of this change that we are facing and making in 2021. And I don't like to use the word digital transformation. Everyone uses a lot this digital transformation, but this is old because this digital transformation had already happened. Everyone is digital today. If I could ask here to each one of you, how many of you watch the television today? Maybe 1 or 2 hands would be raised. But if I asked you how many of you used your mobiles, I'm sure that 100% of you will raise your hands. And if I ask how many of you used 40 applications, different applications, many hands will be raised as well. So stop talking about digital transformation. We are all digital already. And so what we have today is IoT is, for me, it's for Cisco, for everyone, the new turning point. So it's what will change and by a lot to the next age. Let's watch this video.
The cat that drank the milk and let in the dog that jumped on the woman who brewed the coffee. That woke the man who was late for work. All right, I gotta go. And drove the car that found the parking spot.
Find parking space.
That alerted the door that opened the control room. That secured the data, that directed the turbines, that powered the sprinklers, that watered the grass, that fed the cow, that made the milk, that went to the store, that reminded the man to buy the milk, that was poured by the girl who loved the cat, that drank the milk. The Internet of Everything is changing everything. Cisco, tomorrow starts here.
This is a beautiful example of what is happening in our lives today in the business, that absolutely everything will be and has been connected. So if we imagine today that we have more than 20 billion of devices that has been connected already, we are not there, not even scratch the surface, because 99% of the things are still disconnected. So this is the Internet of Things is the new turning point of the future. And when we see that, we see the issues with security, the infrastructure, and all the cloud and the things that we have faced right now, and the innovation that we are creating to make it happen. And it's changing all the segments and all the businesses and all the customers as well. If in the past, we have the customers that became digital, so the experience of the customers right now, they do not have any patience at all. They want to see everything in his hands in one click. So if before we had the processes that has been changing all the business in the companies, old companies or new companies, today the companies have been changing completely their business models. So our companies that has been disappearing and new companies coming. So technology, IoT, the digital era that we are living today is changing everything because of the customer that became digital, the customer and the citizen as well. And so, and Alba, this is for retail, or this is for finance segment. No, it's absolutely all the segments have been touched for the digital. All the segments, some maybe more, some maybe less, but in the end, all the segments has been affected positively or negatively with the Internet of Things. If you see the agribusiness, it's not about only the drone that is look in the area where everything's been has been made, or the animals or the plants, but it's everything. It's the logistic. Exactly the example that I gave about the milk, that since the beginning of the plant that has been planted or the animal until be in our plates, in our table, in our kitchen, this total, the logistics of everything, including transportation, including refrigeration, everything has been and will be connected by the Internet of Things. When you go to the industry, you see the same thing. We talk a lot about the Industry 4.0, but when you see that, I can ask in every country in Americas, how the percentage of companies are manufacturing that they are already in the Industry 4.0. I would say that wouldn't be more than 10%. So a lot to be done. So the plants will be, the manufacturing will be completely changed, and the IT and the OT will be totally together in the hands of the people that are managing the manufacturing. And when you go to the retail, we used to say, we have the physical, we have the digital, we need to have space and products to both of them. It doesn't exist anymore. We need to work with customers that want to get in a store and buy things using his mobile. So this is how we are working today. It's not more a matter of digital or physical. It's all about experience. In the experience today, we're talking about 1.8 seconds. That's the size of the patience of a digital customer. If they believe more in a good application today than in the brand of the company, because they are digital, and this is how it's working. But okay, this was a little bit of what's happening. What about us? What about the work, our work, what we do daily for life in a connected world like this? This also has been changed. Has been changed along the years, and actually after pandemic, it's changed even more, completely changed. You see, if you were like learning on how to swim, because of the pandemic, we're suddenly, everyone had to go into the storm in the middle of the ocean and go swim. So that's how we are today. So we can't see today anymore meetings the way that it was before. We can't see anymore that the people will keep working the way that they were in the past, where they need to go in their job in that right time. They will have to go lunch in that right time. They will need to leave the job, to leave the job in that day in the right time. Forget about that. So this has completely changed. And also, the most important, I don't want to touch the technology for that. That's not my intention here today. But talking about life balance, because we don't know anymore if you are working and enjoying the family, or if you are enjoying the family and also working. So these lines has been crossed. So although it's been amazing to have this life, if people are looking for that more and more. If you are looking for the best job for you, you certainly do how to adapt your life with the job that you are looking for. And the companies are looking to that as well. And today, we always think, hey, think out of the box, think out of the box, think out of the box. But then you get the employee, you put him in a box and ask him, stay there and think out of the box. I can't think out of the box because you put me on a box. And how can I think out of it? So the world has changed, completely changed. And today, I do expect and I hope that the companies that are looking on the hybrid work and how the people will work differently today, they don't see that. They shouldn't see that as, oh, I'm saving my OPEX. Oh, I'm reducing my costs. That's not about that. That's about quality life. You should, all the decisions that the company should be doing regarding that is about how the employee life would be better with that. So I can't think anymore about where do you work if the office is in your hands. I also don't like the home office. Home office, think from we're talking about the past. Today is anywhere office because you can work anywhere, absolutely anywhere. And so I can't see anymore people getting stressed because they are waiting for a meeting. I can leave my house. I can leave my children in the school. I have a 9 and 5-year-old kids. And I'm waiting for a meeting. It's okay. So let's put this and let's start the meeting. And I can go into the office and then I get physically in the office, but to be late for a meeting. People, when they are, if it's raining and I need to get the transit to go to the office in that right time because the time of the meeting, they get stressed before, in the day before. That's how, so it's not a stress during the time that they are in the traffic. They get stressed in the day before. So how does that affect your health, your life because of this stress to be in that right time? You will be in the right time there, but maybe not physically. This is how the hybrid work will change this life balance. And one sentence that the companies must learn and learn more and more is that the future of work is not where you go, it's what you do. When companies learn that and give the ability to the people to learn where they want and need to be, that will make, and it's making a lot of difference already because the pandemic accelerated all of that. And so, and what's that, Laercio? So talking about technology? No, let's talk about other things. Let's talk about what we came here to tell about. If this is a change of era, or an era of change, it doesn't matter much. But that affected totally our lives, totally. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. But the technology is the same. Stop to think a little bit about this picture. Stop, just for a second. Start thinking on how you used to work with your parents 10 years ago. And start thinking how you work with your kids today. How do you play with them today? So this, do you miss that time? So it's something, this is the technology. This is what the technology has done. Technology is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's an amazing tool in our hands. But when we become the tool in the hands of the technology, everything changes. So that's what happens when you don't leave your brain to control your life. You allow the technology to control your life. You need to get that back. You need to be present and alert to that. Because I'm sure that this picture doesn't mean much, because I think that never happened to anyone here. I don't think that you're talking to your children while you're talking on the phone, right? Does that happen to anyone here? Or when someone, your son or your daughter come to you to tell you how was the day in the school, or to tell how was the first ballet class, or how was the day in the soccer, and you say, just a second, because I just need to answer this email. Oh, just a second, because I have to reply this message. Oh, just a second, because this is what's happening. That's why this title for me is like, it's a title that should be tattooed in the blood of everyone in this earth. That the technology that saves is the same that blinds, because technology is a bless. When you see the picture in the left, this is happening today. And this is simply amazing. Technology can connect the doctor with the patient, can connect the student with the professor, can connect the opportunities to the ones who are praying for an opportunity anywhere in the earth. This is amazing. This is what technology can connect you to your relative that's maybe in the other continent. This is amazing. So you are one click of distance to anyone you love. You can be with them anytime. But in the other side, if you don't use the technology as a tool in your hand, and you are the tool in the hands of the technology, you simply can be blind. And I tell you by personal experience, you can be blind if you don't look to that. So you need to be, if you are in a dinner with your family, that happens to anyone here, I'm sure. If I ask it to any one of you who are watching, you are in the dinner, but you are also in 10 other dinners in the same time, because you're talking to your family or to your friends in that dinner, but you are replying all the other messages with the other dinners that's happening in the same time. That's what happens today. So, let me try. The technology, it's a bless or it can be a curse if you allow you to be a tool in the hands of the technology. Because what we need in our mind is pause. We need to pause. So believe me, by experience. So when you are doing a lot, thousands of things in the same time, because technology allows you to do that, even if all these things, it's amazing and you love to do it, if it's a lot to your brain, in a certain point, your body, you say, hey guy, stop. So if you don't give a pause to you, but intentionally, in a certain point, your body will stop you and will force you to pause. This is important. So I had last year, I can tell you here as an experience, in July last year, I was in the best moment of my life. It was in the middle of the pandemic. Cisco was the company that was connecting the world and everything. And so I was talking to minister, I was talking to the chief of states, I was talking to universities, to health companies, hospitals, because we're using the technology for that. We had all the journalists calling, Laercio, can you give an interview? TV programs, magazines, and calling, Laercio, you're in the heart of this perfect storm. How do you use? So I was doing thousands of things in the same time, and I was happy. So in a certain day, I felt a little bit bad. Hey, what's happening to me? Oh, what's happening? Oh, let me go to the hospital. Hey, doctor, I'm not feeling good. Can you give me some medicine or some pill, anything to make me feel better. Hey, Laercio, you have no idea what's happening to you. You are having a peak of arrhythmia. You're going to stay here in the hospital. And you stay here for the night. And if you're not good in the early in the morning, we will need to give you shock to make your heart get back to where it should. So my life changed completely at that day. It was when I find out that my superhero cape didn't exist. We are not superheroes. Simply, we are not. Don't try to be. Don't try to be superhero. So I tried to be superhero, not because I was forced to do, because I was happy doing that. So don't connect stress with things that put bad pressure on you. The pressure that you put on yourself, even for things that you like, if you are doing a lot of things in the same time without pause. So when you stop between a meeting and another meeting, and you have 15 minutes, what do? You get 15 minutes rest, or you take your phone. Oh, let me use this time for a relax. I'll reply a lot of mails. I'll reply a lot of messages. I'll reply. This is the kind of rest that we have today. We don't give pause in our mind because of the technology. So that's why the technology that saves is the same that blinds. So never forget about that, and be alert. So be present, and when you notice that you've been controlled by technology, try to control the technology, because you are not a machine. You are not a superhero. So I was not. So today, of course, I am much happier. Cisco helped me a lot, and I opened my heart. I told everyone what was happening. In the beginning, I was embarrassed to say. It took me a few weeks to have the courage to say what was happening to me. But here I am, and I was promoted to Latin America Vice President. So don't be afraid to show them that you are not a superhero. Don't show. People don't want superhero. People want superhumans. Be a superhuman, that you'll be much happier than being a superhero that in a certain point you will find out, like I did it, that you are not you are not a machine. So I'm about to finish my presentation here. And actually we'll have a little bit of time for questions after that. But I would like to close this with some what I call golden rules. Now, this is not golden rules that I took from a book, that I read it and say, oh, this is nice, let me put in a presentation. No, this is a few golden rules that I put in myself. When I look into my life and said, if I should, from the 12 things, I should select four of the most important ones for me in my life, what should they be? So this is my golden rules. So I should change this slide actually to my golden rules, because this is not anyone's golden rules. So first thing, in your life, put people first, but do that genuinely, in an authentic form, so people know if you care about them or not. So they have like a chip here that they know if you are telling lies or if you're telling the truth. So they know that. So when you put your interest in the people, do that genuinely. When you take your eyes off of yourself and put on the other people, they will do magic for you. They will do magic happens. So always do that. Put people in the first place. Don't be someone who try to pretend to be concerned about people. So be really interested in people's lives. Be interested in their careers. Be interested in what's happening today. The pandemic taught us the real meaning of the empathy. When someone has something to tell you, listen. But listen. Open your eyes. Stop looking to the mobile and listen to the person. Because people, they don't care about how much you know. They want to know how much you care about them. So if you need to choose one thing, put people first and magic will happen in your life. Also, always be yourself. Be yourself always. Don't pretend to be someone that you are not. This causes a lot of stress. With the technology today, you create an avatar and you are in the social media. Social media is an amazing tool, but the same thing. A tool in your hands, no, you are a tool in the hands of the social media. So be yourself always. Don't hide yourself behind an avatar. Just be yourself. If you want to cry. You need to be vulnerable. But being vulnerable is not to be a better leader. You need to be vulnerable to be happier. And as a happier person, you will be a happier and a better leader. So I always see a lot of people, and I could find myself in many times also in that direction, that I need to do this, I need to do that because of something very small word that causes 1,000 of problems in your life. This is small word is called ego, E-G-O, ego. When you put your ego ahead of your life, you will not be yourself anymore. So try to give a break to your ego, be yourself, be happier being yourself, accept your vulnerability, accept that you are not a superhero, accept who you are, be happy being who you are, and you will be a much happier employee, a much happier leader, and I can promise you that. The third, celebrate each victory in your life. We are always connecting happiness with something that is about to happen in your life. Oh, I will be happy when I close my quota in the end of the year. I'm a salesperson, so I'm using this example. But I could say, I'll be happy when I finish my college. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I. You are always connecting, being happy with something. And it's not about something, it's about the journey. You need to be happy every day. You don't need to be happy only when something happens. So celebrate each victory. People are escalating, hiking a mountain, and when they get in the top of the mountain, they get down again, and let's get another mountain. No, stop. If you get in the top of the mountain, sit, take a breath, see the sun, the sky, enjoy that moment. So enjoy every single victory in your life. You have to enjoy, you have to celebrate, and give a time for you. Don't push you that much. So give a time to you, and remember to celebrate absolutely everything good that happens in your life. Always. I live, for example, with a bell in mind. I'm always celebrating things when something good happens. Not only the job, at home, at family, with friends. Always do that, and put a smile on your face, because challenges will happen every day. Problems will happen every day. You will not change the challenges or the problems in the world. You will not. The only thing that you can change is how you can face the problems and the challenges. So you can face them crying, or we can face them with a smile in your face. I promise you that with a smile in your face, it will be much easier to face the challenge and to find help wherever they are. And the last one, the last golden rule, never lose your family. Never lose your family. I can tell you, never lose your family. There's absolutely nothing in the world that will be more important than your family. I can promise you, if you miss the graduation of your son or your daughter, because in that day, exactly in that specifically day, you have a meeting that you cannot miss that meeting. So I can promise you that 10, 20 years from now, you'll not even remember what the hell was that meaning? But you remember for the rest of your life that you missed the graduation of your son or daughter. So never miss your family, never. And I can tell you here, just to close, a story. It's my story that some of you are in San Jose, in California. And so I was invited to participate on a panel. Chuck would be making mediating the panel. I would be there. So it was for me an amazing invitation. Wow, I will not miss that. So I want to be there. And it was the number six birthday of my daughter. And she invited 15 other girls to sleep at home at that night. And that was amazing. So that's cool. And so I said, I will not be there. So my wife, my daughter, and 15 girls, it's okay to be out. So I accepted the invitation. And actually it would be 2 days meeting. And when I told my daughter that I wouldn't be there, she started crying. I said, I'm sorry, daughter. I didn't know that you weren't there because it's for girls. So I didn't. She was crying, period. She didn't say, okay, Dad, I understand. So, no. So I called. I remember that Fran was aware of that. I can go, if I can go there to the panel. At that time, we were doing these crazy things to go 20 hours just to be one day. So today, things are getting different. So I'll be there, but I need to leave in the second day because I need to be at home. And so I told my daughter, I promise you, Dad will travel, but by the time of to eat the cake, the birthday cake, I'll be here. I had to do crazy things. I had to get a flight early in the morning and go to the airport and praying. And say, God, please help me to make that happen. So, but I put at risk. But I did everything. I was about to spend some money with a helicopter from the airport, but it was raining. I said, God, I'm asking you for help here to make rain. How can I get home from? But I did everything. So, and I was in my home exactly in the time for the birthday. I don't know how to say in English, to sing the happy birthday. And there is a video about that for some reason my wife recorded because I don't know why, so forgot. And I want to show that. So I want to show and close the presentation with this video when I got there for this moment. So never lose your family because nothing in the world will worth that. Never lose your family. And so thank you very much for listening to me. I hope that today I could touch at least one of you. And thank you again, Christine, Leah, and HITEC for me to share something with you. I always cry when I see this video today. So sorry for my emotion here. And also never forget where you came from, because I never forget where I came from, because this is one of the most important things. If you lose your roots, you lose everything in your life. Thank you very much. I get the word back to you, Christine.
I'm trying to compose myself here because I am crying. This is amazing. This is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing this with us. And this is so true. This hits home, I'm sure, to many of us. You know, new days and so important. And I'm happy that this is being recorded. I put in the chat, Roseanne, we were just saying that this is a great little refresher to use this just to kind of bring you back, right? And to remember this moment that it's not all about work, right? We do need to come back to family. Laercio, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This was such a pleasure not only to introduce you, but to also be part of this session today. Do we have any questions? Would anybody like to ask anything now that we have Laercio with us?
Please ask me something. Whatever you ask, I will say, that's a great question. That's I will say.
Hi, Christine. I'd like to go if that's okay.
Absolutely.
I'm still wiping my tears. I'm still wiping my tears. Seriously, you brought tears to my eyes with the last video about putting family first, and that was amazing. And I really enjoyed the golden rules. My name is Luis Avila, and let me tell you a quick story that I used to live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, right? So
my name. The owner of
Albuquerque, New Mexico. Yeah. So when I found out that you had been promoted to the VP of LATAM, I was like, oh, a person with the Albuquerque last name. That's not very common, right? Because Albuquerque is also a city in Spain, if I believe that to be correct, right? I was born and raised in Mexico, but I lived in New Mexico half of my life. And I started working at Cisco more than 12 years ago in Albuquerque. And, so I was like, oh, I need to contact him at some point, say hi to him. Now that I heard your story, you're going to be hearing from me because, I want to connect with you. I love the fact that you say, put people first, right? Be genuine. And so my question to you is, I know that's probably, that we can tell you're genuine and that you really mean it. And that's why you moved up into the position that you are at Cisco, right? When you really care for others, it pays. But what would be, the question is, I guess, what would be another one suggestion or advice, for all of us, right? That we're trying to do the right things, but what else can you suggest we do to also seize the opportunities that present to ourselves?
What else to do to see the opportunity for what, Luis? I understood everything. The last question, so the last part of it.
Yeah, so when there's a person like you that really cares for others, you're not worried about promotion, right? You're not worried about, oh, I'm going to do this because I want to get promoted to the next level. And there are a lot of people that we know that they just do things because all they really care about is moving up to the next level. What I'm asking is, what else do you do besides caring for others and the golden rules to seize the opportunities, to be able to move up within the organization?
There's something that you cannot miss, which I used to say, oh, Laercio, what's your leadership style? I am someone with my eyes on the results and my heart on the people. So if you're just a people person, you don't care much about the results or about the quality of your job. So you do not have that much. You can be an amazing people leader, but you need to have the results as well. So do what you have to do the best you can. In my case, when I do that, I don't do that for me. I don't do that for the other people. I do that for God. So this is me. So I don't want to make any kind of apology with religion here. So I just do the best. If I have an opportunity, I'm there, I'll do my best. And I will always be the best version of me. I want to deliver. I don't want to say, oh, this is good or bad. No, oh, it's okay. I just want to care about people. No, results are important. The quality of your job is important. It's important to speak up. When you don't speak up much, people say, oh, they do a lot of marketing. No, it's not to do a lot of marketing. It's important to speak up. When you don't speak up much, it's because, not because you're shy only, because this is styles, but because you have an ego. You are afraid to speak up. You are afraid what people will think about you. When you start losing, what the hell people will think about me? Let me be myself. Let me speak up. And people will find you. And also, regarding career, regarding growth, let people know what you want. Don't be there, hidden under the table, waiting people to find you. Speak up. Tell people what you want. Don't be afraid of that. Where you want to go, what you want to be, speak up. So you need to say, because leaders like people, I know what he wants, and maybe eventually one day, I don't know when, there will be an opportunity. And what is yours, it's waiting for you. So keep your eyes on the quality of your job, on the results. Speak up, and don't lose your heart connected to the people as well. Thank you, Luis. Rosane.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And vou falar oi, Laercio.
Tudo bem?
Tudo bem? Estou feliz que eu sou paulista e eu quero, before I'm going to say in English but Portuguese a little bit here too. I am so inspired by you and by your speech today. I have to be honest, this is exactly what I needed to hear in my personal and career as of today. Eu quero ser você amanhã. I'm just going to say this real quick so you... I believe in everything you say. I mean, I could take your PowerPoint, I'm not kidding you, and it touches so many points of my person and what I'm inspired to become. So I am so like, I'm gonna cry here too, but I'm gonna try to be pointed here to my question. The struggle that I've been having is to execute, right? It's very easy to say, because I'm that mom where my kid comes home and say, hey, help me to do my homework. I'm like, sorry, I'm in a meeting right now because I have a very difficult job, right? So I do, and technology, even though it's great, is always there because we're doing 10 to 12 hours a day. The question I have is, how do you sustain it, right? It's easy to say no once, it's easy to kind of speak up, but what tips do you have on a day-to-day basis, either within your family and within work, right? How to make those open discussions, right? Who do you start? Do you start with your mentor? Do you start with your manager? Any tips that you could give me would be greatly appreciated.
I don't know the right answer to give to you, but first I would say read. So get some great books. I could mention, for example, 3 books: The Power of Now, and the other book, the Brené Brown, The Art of, I forget the name, total name of, and there's another one. I'll remember the name of the book. The 3 books that I read during the Happier is another book that is simply amazing. And The Art of the Imperfection from Brené Brown. So 3 books that will help you a lot on how to deal with your daily, because it's hard to talk about prioritization. Even I can tell you that, Rosane, don't worry, because from 7-8 p.m. ahead, it's okay to say no. But during the day, your child is there asking for your help. You don't need to say no all the time, even during the day. That's also bad as well. So there is no right time. The only thing that I'd like to add on that, maybe it's not the answer that you're looking for, give you some pause. And when you give the pause, give the pause. So when you give 15 minutes, I don't know if you like to meditation or things like that, I do. But when you pause for 15 minutes, pause for 15 minutes. We use that 15 minutes to give a hug or a kiss in your family or something like that. But when you take a vacation, take a vacation. If you decide, when I had the problem last year, I was bad because I went to the hospital for 10 days, every day, thinking that I was dying, panic. I thought that I was about to die. So every single day I went to the hospital. And a second person said, hey, I need to stop. So I called my manager, my boss. They helped me a lot. I stopped it for 30 days. Actually, I wrote a blog. It's in LinkedIn. It's in Portuguese, but I didn't put my hands on a mobile phone for 30 days. For 30 days. Of course, then my wife helped me a lot with that, because my brothers, when they need to talk to me, they call her and things like that. But my life changed. So I noticed that I don't need, so Rosane, when you receive a message, that doesn't mean that you need to answer that message in 5 seconds. But me, I was looking to the blip, 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 blip. I couldn't see that was messages to be read. it was like a sickness. I was sick. I need to clean up. So it's just like trying to dry ice. It's impossible. So it's simply impossible. So I allow you that you not do everything at the same time. But when I say I'll stop look at how ridiculous is that? I'll stop for the weekend. Oh, of course, that's easy. It's not. I can ask everyone here. Everyone likes to work a little bit on Saturdays and Sunday, even on Sunday. Or let me see if there is some messages here, because that will help me sometime on Monday. If I answer on Sunday, that will help me on Monday. Don't do that. Your hands will start shaking. Oh my God, I need to see. Or let me just see this Instagram. Let me just see this WhatsApp. Or let me just see this web. Stop. When that happens, your hands will start shaking just like you're needing drugs or you're needing some alcohol. And say, take a breath, stop, come back to where you are. Because you need to be present. You need to be present to where you are. When your brain, heart, and body are in completely different places, is when a problem will happen to you. So, and that technology helps to have that to happen. So, if you are talking to your daughter, sometimes my daughter sometimes start to, because this little girl, they made bad for me. It was a terrible lady school. You start thinking, oh my gosh, again this. Let me see one message. Let me try to clean one of the 1,000 messages that I have, at least one. Don't do that. Take a breath. So I don't know if I'm answering your question. So starting looking at you and give the right times. So if you take 4 days of vacation, PTO, stop for 4 days. Stop. And don't see. Sometimes I'm with my wife, and we are trying to look to each other, and she says, Mr. A or B just sent me a message inviting to a dinner tomorrow. Let me answer. Hey, we are in the middle of the dinner. I'm sure that you can answer that, but we do that in a nice way, not as a pressure. We ask each other. We love each other. So when I see you trying to doing something that is not that good, or vice versa, let's try to keep an eye on ourselves. So the technology, you can automatize everything with technology, everything. Even the decision for the vacation next year, the ice cream flavor that you choose today, technology will automatize everything. The artificial intelligence will automatize everything. But I promise you, it will never automatize a hug in someone you love. That will be impossible. So don't miss a chance for a hug. So sorry for a long answer.
No, it's a great answer. Thank you so much, Ron, but I'm very happy. Appreciate the answer and the time and the care.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought another hand. I don't know, Christine. I'm here.
Did anyone? We have some time for maybe one more. One.
More than a question, Laercio, this is Sponge. It's been a while since I last saw you, so it was great to watch you here. This is my first time attending a HITEC session, and I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be about technology. And when we started sharing, I was like, maybe I got this wrong. And I couldn't, once it's finished, it was like, it's so refreshing and so helpful that we talk about people and human beings and what we need to do in the technology world, that it was super refreshing. So I just want to say thank you for sharing, for being so open and transparent and showing your vulnerability. I think it helps a lot, at least to me. I'll speak for myself. It helps a lot to understand that senior leaders in high-tech companies go through the same struggles that we all do, right? And that there's a way, there's a path. So I just want to say thank you. Muito obrigado, mi amigo.
No, gracias, Ponce. Thank you very much.
Laercio, thank you so much. What a wonderful way to hopefully begin to wind down the week, and such great thoughts and in many ways such like basic ideas that we often lose sight of in our day-to-day, because we all lead very crazy and very hectic lives. So totally appreciate you for your transparency, for your vulnerability today. This has been an incredible session. Thank you to you, to the entire Cisco familia, who has been such an integral part of our organization from the very beginning. So thank you so much. Appreciate you and all of the support. Thank you to everyone who joined us today, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Thank you.